Yeah, that makes perfect... Yep, that makes perfect sense. Lots of sense. All of the hints were staring at us right smack in the face. I don't know how much of this lore was already planned from the very beginning. But regardless, I think it's whoever came up with all of this cleverly put everything together. That's awesome. So how did you and Solus get along then?
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments.
Yeah.
He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Alright, I think I've asked everything I'm allowed to.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
Trapped. I feel sorry for him. He's trying to help. He's a self-pitying monster. He's torn but doesn't know it. What do you? What do you?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal, I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Okay, that's fair. And again, there's probably still some complications there if you had a Veilguard Inquisitor who romanced Solus, which I definitely would love to see in somebody else's playthrough. He's trying to help. He's torn but doesn't know it. He's self-pitying. Zen would feel... He's trying to help. Trapped. I feel sorry for him.
Every decision he made, Solus thought he could save people. Stop things from getting worse. Now his only way forward is a plan so terrible his last friends had to stop it.
An unfortunate belief that all paths are closed but those one has already taken.
There might have been a better choice.
'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
I think that's foreshadowing. You might get a big decision at the end when you confront the gods, and I presume Solus will be freed from his prison, and that's my theory. That's my guess. Maybe this can indicate... Right, not alarming at all. I'll be ready. Maybe this can end okay.
Maybe there's a way we all get what we want.
Do you truly believe such a thing?
Well, maybe at least what we deserve.
Maybe
If
at
you
least.
would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share.
Okay.
When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry.
This one.
Solus recovered it from Elgar'nan, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
I'll take it, thank you. Survive the encounter. Great. There are 2 Mythals?
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Durthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until I survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elgar'nan, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
Let's do it.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain.
I like options.
Or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
Yep, I'll take the options. Any suggestions?
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity.
Okay.
She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
So we can talk our way through, but ultimately if we don't tell her what she wants to hear, we're gonna fight her. That's fine.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elgar'nan. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Okay.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanurus, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you for the information,
This is
Morrigan.
interesting.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Thank you, Morrigan. It is really cool that they've managed to find ways to keep Morrigan relevant throughout the series. She is a fan favorite. Rightfully so. And Claudia Black, as I've said numerous times, does a stellar job with her. Find the fragment of Mythal in the crossroad. Let's save. I think we should save. We'll do that first. Smart thing to do. And then we'll see if we can have a chat with Ms. Mythal Fragment. Basically, she's a Horcrux. Let her rip.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
We'll give it a try. We're at max level. If we can't beat her at max level, I don't know what to tell you.
We're getting
Nest of
close to where
ancients.
Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
Yeah. The traitor's last word. The stone nearby bears the gouges of a titanic claws. A message has been carved shakily into the ground with a broken tooth. They accused me of treachery against Fen'Harel and cast me down from the heights. I protested my innocence then. I protest it now, crawling with my limbs shattered, but there is no one to hear. So I offer myself up for the execution that once most pleased the gods. May the name of Nunael be cleansed with flame. Nunael. Nunael. Well,
That has to be her.
Mythal herself. There's so much we could learn if... Do you think she might talk to us instead of attacking?
Guess we'll find out.
I guess we're gonna find out. Hey, babe. What you doing?
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never thought to see Kunari, who did not yet exist in my time, scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
You're not going to help us. I want your help. I want your help.
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories. His regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version.
Fair.
It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
Okay, so Morrigan said she demands respect, but not flattery. And I forgot the first part of the second, but I remember the second part, which was she doesn't like pity. Solas is helping me. Forget it, I'll fight you. We must stop the blight. We must stop the gods. We are worthy. I don't know if she'll think that this is disrespectful. So none of this is pitying. Solas is helping me. We must stop the blight. We must stop the gods. See, I don't know if saying Solas is helping me is going to help, because she's been slighted by Solas. I feel like Solas is on thin ice with her right now. I don't think name dropping him is going to be great. We are worthy shows confidence, but I don't know if she thinks that we are being, like, naive or being, I don't know, too prideful. Oh, we're worthy, yeah. So I'm thinking we must stop the blight or we must stop the gods. I don't know which one's better. We must stop the blight. But she's the one who kind of... We must stop the gods. Maybe she'll notice that our target, it's not really about stopping the gods, it's about stopping the blight. And in doing so, we're stopping the gods. I feel like it's one of those things like, oh, it's obvious that you want to stop the gods, but why would you want to stop the gods? Like, what is the root? Are the gods truly the root issue here, or is it the blight? And the blight's the root issue. I don't know. If I end up having a fighter, so be it, but I'm going to try. We must stop the blight.
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
This is not respect. This is pity. You stood against it. You yourself, you know, was against the Blight. So I'm just trying to help you and what you wanted.
Stopping the Blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solus even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough.
Okay.
Let us speak of something else.
Okay, I'm doing okay. We are worthy. Solus is helping me. We must stop the gods. We are worthy. I'll go for it.
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. What is a protector to you?
Respect, but not flattery. Not killing monsters. No. I'm trying to be like you is flattery. Building a safe place.
It's making a place that's safe for everyone. That means defending against danger. But it also means building a strong community that works together for the common good.
And what have you built?
She's smiling a little bit.
Look at my team.
She's smiling a little bit.
We're not just hired blades. We started as strangers and grew together into a family.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
Okay. We must stop the gods.
You can't want Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the Blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
They wronged you. Put the Blight aside. I don't know if I want to ask a question. I'm not going to ask a question. We need no gods. They wronged you. This is respecting her, but not flattering her. It's like, girl, I'm just trying to help you out. They wronged you here.
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice. And they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook.
Yes! Yes!
I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely.
Thank you, Morrigan.
Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will.
Oh,
thank you.
I'm so happy I was able to do that. You have gained Mythal's favor. That was perfect. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you, Zen.
Like a piece of the sun, I've never felt something so alive.
I don't want to ruin the moment, but what do we do with it?
The god knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready. We did it.
Oh my.
We got
Nice.
Mythal's essence.
Clear minds and open hearts, let your voice fly them all. Dial jars of 10. Okay. A fragment of Mythal found the team worthy of her power and willingly surrendered her essence. The power now rests safely with the team, ready for when they find a way to use it to stop Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain, or any other god who might strike.
And we
Wow.
didn't even have to fight her.
I know,
Not sure
right?
what we do with it just yet, but if Morrigan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
my other rook, when I play this again, my other rook is going to fight her. just because I feel like my other rook would end up fighting her. Zen would much prefer talking her way through. I think this is perfect for his narrative because Zen would, sure, he could get the essence by fighting her, but I think he would prefer not to have to spread any bloodshed. Like, I think he would prefer walking away from this with Mythal still alive, and even better than that, like, being in her favor. Him being in her favor. So that was perfect. I don't know how difficult that was for other players to get that result without having to trigger a battle, but I just have to say Morrigan was clutch. I'm so glad that she gave us advice on how to navigate through that conversation, because I think if Zen and myself were to choose our knee-jerk responses, they probably would end up... I think the problem is that Zen and myself would try to... I mean, we don't want to... I, in real life, try to get in good graces with people that I am trying to convince of things without patronizing them. And, you know, I think that my default is to flatter, to try to grease the wheels, you know, a little bit. But I understand that certain people, that doesn't really work so well, and I'm glad that Morrigan pointed that out to both myself and to Zen, because we kind of pivoted and checked ourselves. I'm like, I want to say this. My default go-to response would be this, but I think strategically I have to answer it this way instead, you know? So tell Mythal what... Mythal is the kind of person where you want to tell her what she wants to hear. In general, if I am friends with someone, a family member, someone that I truly care deeply about, I will tell them things that they need to hear. Not necessarily what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. Especially if it's better coming from me than from other people. Like, coming from me as someone who truly has that type of relationship with them, who truly has a bond with them, who truly loves them the way that I do, and they hopefully love me or care for me in the same way. And maybe difficult things that they need to hear can and should come from someone like myself. Mythal, that's not the case. We don't have a history with each other. You know, we don't have any obligations with her. That technique doesn't quite fit very well. I can't just tell her what she needs to hear, because she's not going to listen to it. So you kind of have to divert to what she wants to hear. And I think just telling people what they want to hear may not ultimately be the best thing for a loved one, which is why it's normally not my default. But again, it's a case-by-case kind of basis. Fragments of Mythal. Excerpt of a letter from Seer Rowan of the Lords of Fortune to Emmerich and Balara. It is fascinating to hear of your group's encounter with a fragment of Mythal. If the elven gods are indeed spirits who manifested, they were complex enough to hold a variety of impulses and emotions. When Mythal was killed, each fragment might represent one part of her personality. Excerpt of Ballar's reply. Yes, when I asked the Dalish about Flemeth, she carried Mythal before Morrigan did. I learned that among the Dalish clans, she was known as Asha Belinar, respected as a mage even though she was human. It sounds like even though she wasn't trying to rule anymore, she still wanted to help. Or meddle. Mythal and Flemeth both liked to meddle. Yes, they did. Excerpt from Emmerich's reply. Why is this not scrolling? Okay, I don't know why this wasn't scrolling for me before. Excerpt of Emmerich's reply. Indeed, it raises the question of whether the fragment of Mythal that Morrigan carries was more naturally tied to guidance and wisdom than the more imperious spirit we met in the crossroads. They may be different facets of Mythal's personality, the mentor as opposed to the ruler. The fragments may have also originally been closer in personality, deviating over the years. One imagines Flemeth's fragment must have changed after centuries spent with mortals, and perhaps the Crossroads fragment grew frustrated by her own inability to affect the outside world. It could also very well be a mixture of the above. A spirit, like any person, may affect others and be affected by others in return. Interesting. She certainly was prickly. I felt that during that... Oh, this is the arena. She certainly is prickly, and I definitely felt that while speaking with her. So, I thought they did a great job with that. Mythal's Grace. A medallion bearing the symbol of Mythal, ringed with the notes of a song, inscribed in spectral notation, music that cannot be heard in this world. We're very close to 100% in our codexes. Not really sure if we're going to be able to pick up every single memento, but we're going to try. I am curious what the battle with Mythal would be. But I like how honest she was with us from the beginning. She's like, you're either going to talk me into it, or we're going to have to fight, and one of us is going to kill the other. I do respect that she didn't just say, or I'm just going to kill you. She actually was open to the idea, open to the possibility that we may also defeat her and kill her. So I have mad respects for that. She's not like super narcissistic and super prideful that she thinks she would be able to smite us without a single thought. So. Okay. Well, that was that, and there's a treasure chest here that I don't know how to get to. Oh. I just walk up to it. That's how we get to it. A pale reflection. Oh yeah, we got a couple items. Plus 20% damage versus low health. Meh. Standard enemies are now always considered to have low health. Does not affect boss enemies. Oh. Defeating an enemy grants 5% ultimate. Interesting. So 21st damage. Standard enemies are now always considered to have low health. What does standard mean? I do like control ability damage. Stagger from control abilities. Gain 1 mana per 50 stagger dealt by control enemies. Gain precision when you stagger an enemy. I still feel like overall, this is better. The Sightless Amulet is still like the better bang for my buck. I could be wrong, but a pale reflection. The burden. 20% damage, low health. Did we also acquire Mythal's Light? Deal plus 80. Oh, fire damage, necrotic damage, electricity damage, and cold damage. Wow. I kind of like that better than what I have. The physical damage goes down, though. But it deals more elemental stuff. Arcane Bomb trigger damage. Triggering Arcane Bomb now also staggers enemies around the target. I mean, that's really good. Gain 250 health on triggering an Arcane Bomb. Triggering can now cost 10 mana, but deals its damage in an area. See, that's also really good. That's also very good. But I love how this has so much more, like, elemental damage to it. Well, here's the thing. The physical damage goes down by 261. But if I understand this correctly, you're getting 320 damage, right? 80 times 4 is 320. You get 0 physical damage, but you add 320 magical damage. Fire damage, necrotic damage, electricity damage, and cold damage. And that night when the sun had gone to sleep, Mythal gathered the glowing earth and formed into a sphere to be placed in the sky. I feel like this is better bang for my buck. That looks beautiful. Yeah. That looks beautiful. Look at you can see all the different colors. Red, yellow, blue. It's a rainbow dagger. Come on now. How am I gonna snub the rainbow dagger? A refugee for Mythal. Solus always thought Mythal would join us eventually, that she was better than the rest of the Avenurus. He made this place so she'd be comfortable with her once she joined the rebellion. Now it's too late. Solus has sealed this place off out of grief. He won't let me in. I'm sorry, my friend. There was something left for the war to take from you after all. Veilguard. Veilguard's also a very interesting character too, who tried so hard to do the right thing, and then felt so betrayed by his best friend. Solus, you're just burning bridges. You're just burning bridges left and right, my friend. Take us back.
Ancient power twice recalled from darkness.
Okay, now that we've got all of that revelation, I'm wondering if there's new things in the lighthouse. People are now chatting about it. Okay, that was very helpful. I presume doing this mission and obviously acquiring Mythal's spark is going to somehow affect the end of the game. Or the end game. Either or both. I don't know. We shall see. I will be curious to find out what this is the impacting of. What this impacts. We haven't visited Varric in a while. I feel like that dwarf would be up and about by now.
Hey, Lara. You okay? You look sad.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about my brother.
Understandable.
Yeah. Sometimes I see stuff that reminds me of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? When it hits you, I mean.
I don't know. I ask someone how they're doing. Then I'm thinking about them and not me.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry, Tosh.
Nah. It's a good hurt.
A good hurt. I like that. It's a good hurt, because if it didn't hurt, the amount of pain and hurt you have means that what you lost was meaningful. It was meaningful and impactful. And that's is a bittersweet feeling. You know, at least not completely 100% bitter.
Our enemies are gods, Rook. Nobody fights those alone. That's why Solus lost and why you'll win.
Thank you.
He always thought his attachments were a tragic flaw he had to overcome. But they're a strength.
Zen believes that too. That's what makes him very different from Solus. And what makes my Inquisitor different from Solus as well. And I think Solus just never picked up on that. His pride got in the way. And that ultimately was his downfall. And I hope his pride will not be his downfall at the end of this game. I hope.
Hey, yeah.
Nothing new to say? Okay. I mean, we talked a lot last time. Hassan, yes.
Hey, Hassan.
You're a good griffin. Hey, hey, hey. Lots of stuff is going on over here.
Emmerich, I think Hassan misses Manfred. I caught him in your room sniffing around looking for him.
He's always in there searching for crumbs.
No, he was whimpering. Sad.
Oh, poor thing.
When I was there looking for him, I thought I heard someone else crying too.
Really?
Oh.
I miss him too. Don't know what I'd do if I lost Hassan.
What is he saying by that? I thought I heard someone else crying too. What is that implication? I have a lot of theories.
Everything all right, Rook?
Nah, when you're leaning like that, looking at me, there's a bunch of things that Rook kind of wants to have. Just saying. Let's go ahead. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to sweep through each of the different areas, each of the different alluvions, and just try to get everything that I can to 100%, as close to 100% as possible. Not gonna expect to actually do it, but I just want to try. Some cool stuff. Arlathan's Fall. This armor has no defense. Each time you are hit, gain 20 defense for 15 seconds up to 10 times. At 10 stacks, gain immovable. Interesting. Really expensive, though. Electrify. All of your weapons' attack deals electric damage for 20 seconds. Not bad. Thrumming Rock. Calibration Crystal. Okay. Heartwood. Elven. Elven theme. The eclectic style, reflecting the elves' vast history from the grandeur of their past to their current humble Dalish lives. Golden tree sculpture. Ooh, represents the winds blowing through them. Permanently boost health by 25 when acquired. We'll get that. Veil Jumper Banner tiles. Veil Jumper Banner Hala. Unwinding Box. An intricate puzzle box of Tevinter origin. Each lock opened appears to unwind the progress of another. The whirring of mechanisms is audible inside, but it seems impossible to open. The Favored Bear. Dirthaman gave all the animals a secret, and each of us too. Eventually, they were surrendered one by one for pride, or prize, to become knowledge. Only the bears held their tongues. The First Memento. Carved more permanent than she became, Asha Belinar once and again Mythal, who refused when the gods hungered, and was punished with horrible freedom from their plans. The Days of Death. Humble hands writing of a new life that ends, of food, shelter, and what weather does to a body that can die. We barely lived beyond the fall. The Nature of Immortality, of Nature, of a verse of old Arlathan in textile. We saw no end to fear for us, and songs would sing instead of birth. An unknown start more strange than death because. Field Notes for First Days. A page torn with malice from a bestiary. Thread softly on new legs, breathe quietly this new air. We are not the only beings that seek what we once were. Young, the hand left. Young as elven artifacts go, the left, the first through the veil. Uncertain perhaps, but hopeful. The old rhythms quiet, as distance demands. So we bid the new world welcome. Dreaming Crystal. An uneven rosette crystal known as Fool's Lyrium. It bears memories engraved in a Venatori cipher. 700? For how much? Caretaker power? 70. That's good. And a whole bunch of Jumper's Jumper. A casual kit for Jumper's downtime. Perfect for chats by the fire or laid-back expeditions. We'll take a look at that. Shadow Breath. Time-worn Mage Knife. We're good for right now.
Good luck. Keep your head out there.
You know, with everything going wrong in the forest, having the Griffons around makes up for it.
If we can afford to keep feeding them.
Can't they, like, hunt for their own food? Okay. Treasure chests, chests, lots of chests. There's a few chests. Looks like we've gotten everything there. There's a few chests over here we haven't gotten to. Let's start right and work our way to the left, I think. Here's a crystal. Okay. Oh, interesting. No physical damage, so I can't break pots. Apparently it's resistant to magic. That's kind of funny, actually. I find that very humorous.
Trouble coming.
Let's see how this dagger fares for us. These lasers that I didn't explore. Trouble coming. I don't know where the trouble was coming.
Careful ahead.
Oh. Bring him in. So that
Right out.
I wonder, since I'm not doing any physical damage, if I can still damage people blocking with shields. Because I think shields only block physical damage, not magical damage. That's my guess as to how that works. Okay. Oh, right. Those exploding mushroom things. Right. I saw a laser thing above. Did I miss that? Oh, yeah.
What could that?
Huh. Look at what? Something happened. What did all of that do? What the heck? What the deuce? What is that thing? Electricity? Electricity, eh? Electric, fire. Hitting with a final attack with will alternate the damage type between electricity and fire.
Head.
Let's have fun with this. High. High stagger. Let's do high stagger. Let's do applies chilled. I can apply chill on my own. Not so fast. Chill out, Guardian of Secrets. I'll tell you my dirty little secret. Oh, that's cool. How it switches between different elements. Ah. Blood writing, unique light Vitar. Blood writing. Gain precision when you control health. Precision unleash is 100%. No, that wasn't it. When an enemy dies, it spawns an apparition that attacks nearby enemies, dealing necrotic damage. Oh, that's interesting. Because both of these, both the Soldier's Bane and the Blood writing, is very thematic. And do they have to die by my hand or by the party's hand? Does it have to be me killing an enemy, or it just says when an enemy dies? So when an enemy dies, this is very much like on brand to a Mortalitassi. Blood writing. When an ability plus 30% ability. When an ability enemy dies, it spawns an apparition that attacks nearby enemies, dealing necrotic damage. I would love to see that. That's very Mortwatch. What's this? Oh, it's another one of those donut things. What is this donut thing? Is this
fascinating?
What?
Unforeseen.
Final mysterious circle.
Who are you? Must not reveal. Must not alarm. Soon, though. Very soon.
Is that like a Titan or something? I don't know. The final. Where's the miscellaneous? Oh wow, look at that. See how that forms, these three form the circle? A final mysterious circle, a page torn out of a journal. I don't know how Taryn and I are still alive, but we shouldn't be. We'd been combing through old journals, missives, anything that spoke of the air feeling greasy. That seemed to be the sign of the mysterious circles, and even the broken ones had given off some of that same quality. We found what we were looking for in an old scouting report from Clan Sabre. They'd found the collapsed section of the deep roads that seemed to lead under the ocean, or at least they reported the smell of seawater. So Taryn and I went there, and we got a little deeper than the Sabre scouts, and we found another of the circles. Then we saw them. They looked like a person, though oddly dressed, gray robe, gray helmet, and a mask. Then they moved fast. They were suddenly in front of me, and they were reaching out, but there was something wrong with their arm. It was changing, shifting. I fought ogres, demons, and more than one Templar, but I've never been so afraid, or so sure I was going to die. I couldn't move. Taryn saved me. She hit it with an arrow in the chest. It stumbled back, and that broke the spell. We ran, but we could feel it behind us, and it was getting bigger. We lost it. I still don't know how, but I'm not looking for these circles anymore. Let the past keep its secret. Ceres, first of Clan Erisele. Well, that didn't explain what these circles were, but okay. And then we have all of these things, all of these codex. So we have another memento. Field notes of New Days. Field notes of New Days. First Days. A page worn with malice from a bestiary. A page torn with malice from bestiary. Tread softly on new legs. Breathe quietly this new air. We are not the only beings that seek what we once were. Okay. All right.
You dozed off in your breakfast this morning. You might think about getting some rest.
I did. A little bit. At least an hour. I had a thought, and that became a plan, and then it was breakfast.
Just try not to fall asleep somewhere dangerous.
Oh, don't worry. Honest gave me some coffee. I'll be fine, I'm sure.
Well, you and coffee should mix well.
Yes. Okay, that's it. You've got a point there. You got a point there, ladies. You and coffee.
There! Kill them!
That's a storm waiting to happen. That's a blizzard waiting to happen, if I do say so myself.
This must be one of those Venatori camps strike warned us about. Let's take them out.
Yeah, look at me. I'm a helper.
Got him all.
I'm a helper. No, I needed it up. Miner's talisman. Further notes on a mystery substance. From a scroll found in the ruins, translated from Elven by Belara, I fear something terrible has happened with Atrahel, though through no fault of my own, of course. His strength continues unabated, but he has changed. He is different. Now, sharper. Yet he speaks less than ever. I cannot properly describe it. When he does speak, I hear the voice of another presence joined with his. I fear confronting Atrahel, for the strength the substance has granted me may surpass even my own, but I cannot counteract a threat such as he has become. I must consider my options carefully. Oh wow, creepy. Belara. What do we have here? Still doesn't get me to that chest. Where is the power source? Probably in here somewhere. My guess. Oh. There we go. Big chest. Storm Charger. Ooh. Come to Papa. Plus 50% electrical resistance. Using electrical ability applies shock to you. When you are hit while shocked, remove the effect and deal 300 electricity damage to all nearby enemies. What? That's kind of amazing. I'll give that a try. Look at the hands that are in this one. That's creepy. Heck. That makes things easier. Not necessary, but easier. Okay, and then there was a Fen'Harel wolf somewhere. Yeah. I've got a ton of health, so I'm not really hurting on health, but again, just trying to be as completionist as I can. Yo! Come on down, everyone.
Alright, let's get them!
Ooh, I'm shocked. Bye-bye.
Got the setup, the rest.
Did it!
Facing this direction. Facing this direction. So over here. Somewhere. Ah. Thank you. Another skill point. Like that. Let's start dipping into here. Penetration plus 15%. I want to start getting into the orb and dagger stuff. I'm enjoying the orb and dagger fight. In fact, yeah, let's go through my skills and find out which ones I actually need. Upgrade area abilities. Ice Blast is cooldown of 40. For each enemy hit with an area ability, you generate staff. I don't really need that a lot. Health plus 100. Each health plus 100. I got a lot of health, but that's fine. Time just before an enemy slows down for a short duration, you can quickly move and attack normally. That one's okay. Upgrade control abilities. Hitting 3 or more. Deflect after you deal a critical hit. Enemies who inflict damage on you are chilled. I don't know if I need this necessarily. Grant deflect after you deal a critical hit. Your advantage duration to 20%. Whenever you take damage, you regenerate. Takedown. Damage versus frozen, 15%. Physical resistance, 10%. Control the ability to support minute versus armor. I definitely want increased radius. Each advantage increase your damage up by 10%.